just for ease of transcribing it later. Just letting everyone know. All right, so welcome. Thanks everyone for making it today. I see we do have some new people on this call. So this is the HSTP Steering Committee meeting, the Human Services Transportation Plan. And normally we meet in person, but obviously we can't do that today. So we're happy to have everyone here. Saves a lot of travel too. And what was I going to say here? I think that's all. Let's do introductions of anyone new after I go through the roll call just to see who's here. Okay, and I will mention before I do the roll call that there are some people on my list that have moved positions. I've just added them to the meeting minutes until we fill the next role. So if you see somebody on the meeting minutes that's no longer here, I'm aware of that. We're hoping to fill those roles. Okay, so I'll start with the roll call. Shelly Entrikin. Is she here? I thought I saw her.
I'm here.
Okay, yep. Barb Long. Doug Manick. Audra Miles. Mark Rudolph. Craig McCluskey, he's no longer at his position. I'll skip him. Diana Brandstatter. Debbie Dakin is on my list, but she has moved, so she's not in her position anymore. Mary Patton. Andy Dwyer.
Present.
All right. Tracy Dowell.
Yes, I'm here.
Thomas Howes. I don't think I saw his name. Brandon Hovey. Mary Jo Holford has retired, so she's out. Tyler Rogers.
It's not working. I've tried 3 times.
Oh, is that you, Mary?
Yes, it is. I tried getting in on my computer on the app, and I'm having trouble. I tried it 3 times, and it's not working. So I'm on the phone, I guess.
All right. That works just as well. Thanks for being here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have next on my list is Don Harper. So Adam Duvall. I see you're
I'm here.
Angel Marinich. No. Renee Razzo, I heard you earlier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Chris Mitchell is not here. Don Rulis. And Greg Cassidy. Okay. We don't have a quorum today, but that's okay. We can still discuss everything we have on the list. Thanks for your patience going through the roll call. Now, those are all the people on both subcommittees. Is there anyone new here that would like to introduce themselves? I'll, if you don't mind, I'll call you out a little bit. Pam from Galesburg, since we spoke offline, if you wouldn't mind just saying your name and what you do.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pamela Miller. I am the new transit manager here in Galesburg. Looking forward to meeting with you guys and making some connections.
All right, thanks. Let's see. So I've listed some names of people I see on the right of my screen. I'll just go through them, and if I don't say your name, then please let me know. So I've got Brian Hyatt, Jacob Irish, Mick Johnson, Ellen Larson, Audrey Barrett, Hannah Martin, Bailey O'Connor, Janine McAllister. Did I miss anybody? Okay, I will take silence as a no. And if you can always send something in the chat if your microphone isn't working. That works just as well. All right. Thanks, everyone. So we'll move forward to public comment. Does anybody have any public comment today? All right, moving along. So next on the list is to approve the August 4, 2020 minutes. We don't have a quorum, so we can't approve them, but does anyone have comments about them?
Rima, I do. On the minutes when you did the December 3rd approval, then I had commented that T had received the vehicles, not C, and it's just the opposite on the minutes.
Oh. So here's, okay, sorry about that. So this time, wait, say that one more time so I get it right.
FCRT received the vehicles, not FCRC.
Okay, yes, got it.
That's from the December 3rd.
You're right, yep. Okay, thank you. We've got anything else? Comments from last couple months? Okay, so let's go ahead and table that one until we have more committee members. And I will say, like I kind of glazed over it, but there are some people who have left their positions, so we do have open positions, and hopefully next time we will have people who are officially on the subcommittee on this committee to fill in those roles. So we're hoping then we get a quorum. Okay, so let's move along to provider and agency updates. I'm gonna just go down my list as it shows on the minutes. So I see Shelley, you're at the top of my list. Would you mind just giving an update if you have one?
I don't think I really have any updates.
All right. Okay, so the next person, sounds like we don't have anyone from, or no, we do actually, from Knox County. I know that Ryan and Ryan, you've been here only once, and Pamela is here for the first time, but is there anything just for the group you'd like to say about Galesburg and Knox County?
This is Ryan, everybody. I'll just mention that Pam is our new transit manager, so we're really excited to have her here. I attempted to navigate the often rough and unclear waters of transportation. So I'm glad that she can bring some understanding to that a little better than I can. So I know Pam's on the call, and I think she's willing to serve. Thank you.
Great, thanks for that. Okay, so it looks like we don't have anyone from Marshall County, unless somebody joined recently. Don't believe so. Okay, so let's move on to Peoria County. Mary Patton, do you have anything to update on?
Yes. AARP has been very busy. First, we worked on the census. I know some of these things don't have directly to do with transportation, but since the census results determine how much money we get from the feds, it's very important. So AARP has been working on making sure people fill out the census, and also the graduated income tax. We've been working very hard to pass that. Again, that will help, hopefully help the state get more money for its budget. So we've been working on those issues, and normally we work on a bunch of others, but right now those are the ones we're concentrating on.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, I'll tell you later in my report, but we're also working on census, and I've collaborated with Mary in the past. I helped deliver some census masks to her to help with AARP. So I would call that very relevant. Okay, so the next person on my list, I have Andy Dwyer.
All right, thank you, Rima. First, I can give a fixed route update. We are progressing through our computer-aided dispatch, automated vehicle location software that hopefully will be going live somewhere around the turn of the year or shortly thereafter. That also incorporates a user app, an IVR, which individuals can call in and get the route data at any time throughout the day. So we're looking forward to that, and that's going to be on our fixed route system. We still are pushing towards a new building, and we're in the planning phases for a maintenance and administration building, as ours is one of the oldest in the state. We're hoping in the next year or so we'll be able to get the funding secured, and then we'll start the process of the actual breaking ground and building. Our transit center is still closed to the public, and we are still operating under the free fare platform. Over to the City Lift and County Link side, I do have some news to report that Angel Marinich has actually left the fixed route side as our Assistant General Manager for Operations. However, she is coming over to our new provider for paratransit and rural transit services as our General Manager. So you will see Angel return to the capacity that she was previously here in just a few months. With that, TransDev was selected as our new paratransit provider, and that contract does start December 1st. There will be a transitionary period starting up here right around mid-November. We're hoping that our customers won't see much of an impact at all. We've been working very hard on all sides, and I would like to thank Brian, especially for his hard work during this time. He's been helping me in a wide array of areas, from getting data pulled to our new transit software that's coming online, which I'm going to touch base on that. I just can't say enough great things about Brian and also Mick Johnson, who is new but has many years of experience. They've both been fantastic, and they're great to work with. Moving on to our paratransit software, we're actually going to be what I like to say is ripping the Band-Aid off December 1st as we make that transition from MV to TransDev for the City Lift and County Link services. We will be altering our paratransit software from Mobilitat to EcoLane. EcoLane is going to give us some additional functionality. We're going to be able to use mobile fare collection. We're going to have an app, and we're also investigating an opportunity for our social service partners to have a platform where they're able to schedule, monitor, cancel trips in a batch capacity for all of their clients. So for example, if Dawn were to have access, she could look and see at all of her passengers that travel to and from Epic, and she can make cancellations, and she can make everything from that suite. So we're very excited about that possibility as well. Moving on, we have been working with Supreme Radio and Motorola on some upgrades. Those upgrades are taking place currently. The good thing about that is we're looking to add incident channels. So in the event of a natural disaster or emergency of any sort, we're able to deploy our radios to the channel that's needed, and we're able to assist as necessary and as guided by law enforcement or emergency services. Next is our microtransit study. We have tabulated our results, and we're looking at going to our board for a solution to study microtransit first mile, last mile, underserved areas, scooters, bike shares, anything you can think of that is on demand. We're looking at starting that study somewhere around mid-spring, if not sooner. And then lastly, which ties into the gray area study, and I won't steal Hannah's thunder, but we're having a meeting next Wednesday, and hopefully we can get all the information out to our local partners in the area, and hopefully you guys can all attend, because it is important to have as many voices as possible that attend that for our individuals and residents, constituents, clients that reside in the Bartonville, Chillicothe, Dunlap, Washington, Morton, Creve Coeur, any of those areas that aren't traditionally served by rural transit or the paratransit services. We're very excited about the progress we're making with our partner Blockmuller on that, and then I will just leave it at that so Hannah has something to talk about.
All right. Great. Thanks, Andy. That is foreshadowing to later in the agenda. Okay, let's see. The next person on my list who is present, I see, is Tracy Dowell. Do you have any updates, Tracy?
No, I don't really have any updates, just kind of hanging in there like with everybody else.
All right. Okay, so moving on. I've got Adam Duvall is next on my list, who's present. You have anything to say?
I don't have any updates.
All right. And I do see in the chat, looks like Bailey O'Connor says his microphone does not work, but would still like to introduce myself. So Bailey is the youth coordinator at Advocates for Access. So welcome. Glad to have more members. And all right, the last person on my list who is present I see is Renee. Do you have anything, Renee, to mention?
No current updates.
All right, we're zipping along. It's a fast meeting.
This is Mary. If I could ask the providers, have they noticed any change in the ridership now that the telehealth, I'll get it straight, is available, or don't they have any way of knowing? Because people would not be going to the doctor's offices, or are they having problems, or are the people having problems because they live in areas where they can't get the telehealth? And I guess it's multi-question here.
Mary, I can tag team that with Brian. I would say that month over month since approximately June, as things have been incrementally opening up, our ridership has gone from less than 200 rides a day, increasing all the way up to approximately about 500 as of this week. I would say not only telehealth was very prevalent at the onset. However, a lot of these facilities have started to open up other avenues of elective surgeries and other things that have been put off for quite some time. In addition to our partners at CWTC, Epic, Senior World have started to resume their services. So you are seeing that, and then also you are seeing more of these stores that were forced to close down for quite some time. They're open back up, and our passengers are out and about, and with additional protocols that are in place, we're seeing our buses almost as busy, if not busier than ever, simply because we're not able to put as many people on those buses.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Are there any other providers here who have any comments about medical trips being less than usual?
This is Renee, and actually at the beginning, we, when everything first blew up, we actually did have just a few who were consistent, but over time, our numbers have increased. A lot of our people don't have the option of telehealth due to the fact that they don't have the internet connections or they don't have computers. So, the people who are still going are those who basically don't have any alternative.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, in that case, we will move on to the HSTP coordinator report. That's number 5 on the agenda. So as Mary mentioned, we've been working with the census. Oh, you know what? I see that Mark Rudolph has just arrived. So since you've just arrived, Mark, do you have anything to update on your organization at all? Anyway, I caught you right as you stepped in the door.
Okay, just to update that we're experiencing some issues with COVID here. And in fact, I'm home now for a few days to do that due to an exposure. But we're anticipating hopefully a fall delivery of new vehicles, and that's about all I have to add on to it.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, sorry to be late.
That's all right. We're all still here. Okay. So yeah, moving on to the HSTP coordinator report. We have been working still through the census. There's been some governmental date changes from the top down. There we go. So a lot of deadlines have moved. Now the final deadline is October 31st, so the census is still open for anyone who has not filled it out yet. What our office is doing, we've done a lot of outreach in the past to just the counties around us, and we had received a grant from the state to do census work. We're mostly kind of the middleman in the sense that we received the money and then we gave it to others to spend with it what they would, depending on the organization. It was things like marketing, questionnaire assistance, or just generally getting the word out to the people that they deal with. So now it's just the tail end. On our end, we've put most of the rest of our funds into marketing, just since this is the final stretch. Just see how many more people we can get. So it's a positive thing that the deadline was extended. So hopefully we can count as many people. And like Mary said earlier, that all these dollars would come into all these programs that we're working with now. So it's very relevant to how we receive future grants and how money is distributed. So by the time we meet next time, the census will be done, at least on the outward facing part. And that would just be another one in the books until 2030. So the next thing on my list here is the Hannah City Trail. So this is, I've mentioned it in past meetings. Essentially, it's an old rail line that is still owned by Union Pacific Railroad. And basically, we are in the process of trying to purchase this land. It's a right of way. And by we, I mean there's 3 local jurisdictions. So Peoria County, Peoria County, Farmington, and the village of Hannah City have all kind of pooled some funds. And there's just the last final bits of approval of being able to purchase this. And this, if purchased, would be a multi-use trail that would extend from Peoria to Fulton County. So there's a little bit of an update on that. We had applied for a grant through the IDNR on that one. We haven't heard back yet. So hopefully that would help us just gain more funding to be able to purchase the land. And I believe that's all for my coordinator report. And I think in that case, I'll move on to number 6, which is gray area study update. And Hannah, I'll hand it over to you.
Sure, thanks. So we did get a preview from Andy, of course. The biggest thing that I will note is that we have a kind of what would have been a public open house, probably at a few different locations in the area. We're now hosting 2 virtual sessions to get some more public engagement. Right now, we've kind of gone through all of the existing demographic information about the area that we're studying. We've done some stakeholder interviews, tried to get a little bit more insight into exactly how current services operate either surrounding the area or why they haven't expanded, things like that. So we're really getting to the part where we want more information on what kinds of solutions would best fit all of the populations that we're trying to serve in the gray area. I think that that's probably the most crucial thing, because obviously, there's people who are trying to think and look and see, well, you know, in other cities we did this or we did Y or X or whatever. But to be successful, of course, we want something that you guys would appreciate and use. And so I hope that you can join us. Rima, I think, will be sending out some of the invites. We also have an event on Facebook, either under CityLink's account or Tri-Counties. We're both co-hosts of this event, but you can register there. There should be a link to an Eventbrite. There's obviously no fee or anything like that. But yeah, it'll be a session at noon and a session at 6 p.m. Wednesday, the 21st. And we won't take too much of your time, but we would just very, very, very much appreciate you guys kind of weighing in and seeing what's happened and how things are progressing and what we can do to best serve you and all of the clients that you have. That's about it for gray area. Did I miss anything, Andy, Rima?
I don't think so. I think that's a good summary, yeah.
All right. And yeah, I guess I'll note maybe at this point that we're right about halfway through. So, I mean, there will still be a few other opportunities to engage with the project, but this is really the part where we're starting to develop things that are based on public input. So it's very important and very appreciated for your contributions.
Yes, and you can also, if you have any comments in general and you can't make the meeting for some reason, you can also just email either one of us and we can incorporate those. Okay. All right, so in that case, we can move on to number 7. Or I guess I should ask, does anybody have any questions about what this gray area study means or how you can contribute at all? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Okay, so moving on to number 7, which is approval of new bylaws. We don't have a quorum today, so we can't approve. But essentially, for everyone who's new, we've just been updating our bylaws. And we haven't been able to do that without a quorum, but you know, we can only hope. We basically made some things clearer about attendance and things that most of you already do. So if you don't come to, if you know that you cannot come to the meeting, then just let me know, and that's an that's an excused absence. But if you don't come and don't let me know, then that's an unexcused absence. And we're just trying to make sure that we don't have consistent meetings for hopefully not years, for months that we don't have quorums. It's just easier to move things along if we have more quorums. And I'm preaching to the choir here because everyone here is present. So that was just the biggest thing we changed on those bylaws. So oh, and I guess I will also say, and again, you've heard this many times if you've attended the meetings, we're also adding the option to add a chair and co-chair or vice chair if anybody would like, because other HSTP regions do have that option, so that a member of the committee is actually chairing, and the group would vote on this. So if anybody really would like to be a chair, I know I had some interest in the past, but it's been several months. I think that was pre-COVID. So just let me know, and we can bring that up to the group. It's really just made to make this more of the fact that you will govern yourselves. So we're happy to continue chairing, but if you want to change, then that is also good. So is any comments or questions about the bylaw changes?
The one comment that I would have is that also, in addition to kind of the self-governance idea and all that is that I'm very sure that we can't anticipate all of the kinds of challenges that you guys have and maybe you need to talk about. So I think that it would probably be better served a lot of times if you have that perspective when you're talking about different agenda items and things that, you know, this committee can do to better serve you. So
yeah, that's a good point. So all the agenda
give
items
it a thought. Mm-hmm.
all the agenda items that we've set are just what we're aware of at Tri-County. But since you all are the providers and the agencies, and you might know just more topical things to discuss as agenda items, that is great. We just want to make this work better for you and just have a better use of your time if you would like to discuss the things that are more relevant to you. So that's the idea behind that. And if there are no comments, which I don't hear or see any on screen, I will move on to number 8, which is discussion of HSTP Region 5 Plan Document Update. And that is also Hannah. So I'll hand it over to you.
Sure. So who doesn't want to update 2 plans at once? We just finished our long-range transportation plan earlier this spring that kind of talks about all modes of transportation, but obviously this committee is most concerned with a lot of the transit services in the area. And it is coming up for a spring update. So really so far, first of all, I'm going to send you guys the link to the current plan. And for those of you on the phone, if you want to look, you can go to tricountyrpc.org and under documents, search human or something like that, just with some part of the title, and you should be able to view or save the PDF of this document. It has not been updated yet, but just to get yourself kind of reacquainted with all of the information that we have in there, we've done a lot as staff right now to update basically all of the kind of demographic information, all of the study area, just different language that we have to kind of describe current situations. But we will soon be sending you guys out a survey to try to update what those major trip destinations are, figure out kind of some of the key issues that this group will want to focus on to update all of our goals, objectives, and other kind of projects that you guys would like to see. I know that historically there has not been a whole lot of flexibility in funding to basically implement any of these services. A lot of this comes down to showing and demonstrating that there is a need for the vehicles that IDOT awards through their grant program. However, something that we're finding out with the gray area study is that there are other sources of funding to try to go after. Things that, you know, could be brought back to help and launch a certain project. So that's one very helpful thing about trying to do both the gray area study and this HSTP update at the same time, is that we hope to have a little bit more information about what else we can do to help achieve some real progress. So that's kind of where everything is right now, but just wanted to kind of make you guys very aware of this because I think come December and then February, we're going to need some pretty heavy input. Definitely updating those destinations, like I said, and kind of getting you guys to sign off on what goals you really want to focus on, all that good stuff, because it should be adopted by this committee by March, I believe. So that's the plan for the plan right now. Happy to take any questions about it. or I can just not talk anymore, I guess. Um, but yeah, if you have any, comments, questions, concerns between now and the next meeting, of course, let us know. But that is kind of where things are at right now.
All right. Sounds good. And I guess well, we already asked that. Okay, well, and in that case, I will move on to agenda number 9, which is other. Does anybody have any other?
Okay, so just kidding. I'm going to talk again, everybody. One thing that I did want to make sure everyone was aware of is that I actually will be leaving Tri-County at the end of the month. You will be in the very capable hands of Rima, which I hope you've gotten to know over the last year. We will be hiring, 1 or 2 other planners pretty soon here. Hopefully that will give some more staff support so that Rima isn't totally flying solo on this. There definitely is a lot of work to do, and yeah, it can be a little overwhelming at times. So yeah, we'll be looking for that. And if you know anybody who would be a good fit for this, definitely let them know that it's coming up. But I am leaving to take a position with the city of Pekin, going back to my engineering background, and I will start working toward getting my license by working under a current civil engineer. The one thing that I think is going to be very interesting and relevant to this group is that if you've been around Pekin, you know that they have a lot of ADA issues, especially with sidewalk. So I'm very grateful for all of the knowledge and all of the experiences that you guys have shared with me, meeting different mobility challenges, and I'm definitely going to do my best to keep that perspective as I try to help Pekin improve a lot of their infrastructure. So I'm leaving, but I won't be too far away. And Rima will definitely know how to get a hold of me, and I hope that I still see and meet with some of you from time to time.
All right. Well, we'll all definitely miss you, Hannah, even though you're not fully leaving. You'll still be around. But actually, I don't think I even know how many years have you been at Tri-County.
So we're coming up on technically, I think 5 right now. I started taking some of the minutes and stuff with Maggie back in 2015. So no, it's definitely been a long time with this group, and it's been one of the highlights for sure. So many kind people who are involved with all of this, and I think it's just a huge difference for what a job means is working with a lot of very kind, very good people who are just trying to make their communities better. So I will miss being as engaged with this group as I have been.
Yes. All right. You've got some comments saying best wishes. So everybody wishes you well, and we're happy to have worked with you for sure.
Well, and also on that note, I would like to say will also be my last meeting with the HSTP. So, and I've been coming probably just as long as Hannah has. So it's going to be kind of weird not having to be on these meetings, but I'm looking forward to my new adventures. I'm still not for sure where I'm going to be going. Possibly to Decatur for a little bit, and then maybe to Minnesota after that. So we'll see where everything takes me.
Good luck to you, Brian. I know that you've done a lot around here, so appreciate all of that, and I hope that you can keep doing good stuff.
Oh, I definitely will, and I'll probably still stay in contact with Andy and everything, and anyone else who wants to. So, so Andy, you don't get rid of me that easy.
Yeah, we're
Well,
happy.
I would say from the district, best of luck to both of you, and I hope we all stay in contact because I'm sure we're going to be reaching out. There's a lot of knowledge that's going to be leaving the room.
Definitely. Definitely. And that's why we like new people too, because there are always ebbs and flows within all our organizations. So hopefully we'll have new faces and new voices. Okay, well, those are kind of hard to follow, but does anyone have any other? Sound like it. So in that case, we will adjourn. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I will say the next meeting is December 8th. We have moved that 1 week. We just felt we'll have a buffer between Thanksgiving and this meeting. It'll be a little bit easier. Everyone coming back full of turkey. And I'd say that's about it. Thanks everyone for coming.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.